Welcome back to Pagitt Radio on AM 950 and broadcasting live around the world and maybe even on the space station on DougPagittRadio.com. If you want to head on over there, watch the video stream live, you can see all the shenanigans going on here in the studio, including the sidekick, the mystic, John Music, freeze-framed, because we're having a problem with his camera. So we're going to do what we can to fix that camera over there, but we'd love to have your comments, your input here on the radio program. It's 952-946-6205 if you have any input for us here on the show. And we have a new sponsor here on our radio program. We've picked up a new sponsor for the show, and it's really primarily for the podcast, but we're going to give you a little taste. We're going to give you a little nibble every now and again here in the regular broadcast. And our good people are the folks over at the Doctor of Ministry program at Fuller Theological Seminary in Pasadena, California. Now, all those words might sound unattractive to you, as they would to many of us, other than the words, perhaps, Pasadena, California, where you'd be familiar with the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, sure.
Well, there's a little school there, and at that school, they offer degrees for people. You pay them a lot of money, you take their classes, you show yourself to be competent in learning the things that they've said that they need you to learn, and they offer you a degree. And one of the degrees they offer is a doctorate degree, that you could become a doctor. That's not exactly a PhD. It's not exactly a medical licensure. It's a particular kind of ministry doctorate that many people who've already graduated from seminary might find interesting. And so the sidekick will give us the very first on-air bumper promotion for our new sponsor, Fuller Theological Seminary.
A Doctor of Ministry degree from Fuller Theological Seminary equips ministry leaders with the tools they need for the journey and for the community that they serve. Remaining in ministry while lending your voice to the conversation, explore the Doctor of Ministry program at Fuller Theological Seminary. You can go there at www.fuller.edu/DMIN. Fuller D-Min, fire for your ministry, oxygen for your soul.
Wow, look at that. You know when it took them to put that together? Like 6 months it took them to put that little thing together. I said I need a bumper. They said they're going to work on it. And they come with fire for your ministry, oxygen for your soul.
Crafted, man. I love it.
Fire for your ministry, oxygen for your soul. I don't even know what that means. Here's what's hilarious. Okay, like I shouldn't pick on a sponsor. Right? I'm not going to get more sponsors if what I do is when the new sponsors
come on. You're not going to keep the one that you got.
I make fun of them, right? I mean, so that's not going to work. But hey, if you would like for me to have a little fun with you as a sponsor of the program, they're funny metaphors, let's just say. Fire for your ministry. Yeah. I don't know a single ministry that would like to have fire.
You just watched a whole weekend of them in Atlanta.
We spend money on insurance in case there's a fire. We have special fire. I'm just saying it's a funny metaphor. It's a funny metaphor. Fire for your ministry.
All right.
And oxygen for your soul. See, the thing when people speak about their soul, and this is my contrarianness coming out. I know I can't even let a sponsor come in. But if you're going to have a soul, to many people's minds, to many people's assumptions, your soul would sort of be distinct from your body.
Okay.
And your body is the thing that needs oxygen, as opposed to your soul.
Well, that's the metaphor, Doug.
That's the metaphor. I get it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're looking for a little bit of fire in your belly, a little bit of fire in your ministry, the D-Min program at Fuller Theological Seminary, no one does it better. If you're looking for a little bit of life in your soul, Fuller Theological Seminary. They're not just taking care of your ministry.
No.
They're taking care of your soul.
Yes. www.fuller.edu/DMIN.
D-Min. Doctor of Ministry. We need to start offering a doctorate around here on the radio program.
Okay, what would it be called?
I don't know. We should come up with that. Maybe some of the listeners could come up with a doctorate that we could offer. Like we could have Dr. Sound out there.
I think 6 months to come up with a flashy tagline there.
Okay, gentlemen, here should be our goal. Before the state fair, which I think our first state fair broadcast is on the 29th of August. Is that right? The 29th? 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, live at the Minnesota State Fair. We should all come up with names of our doctorates.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, if we're going to be promoting a Doctor of Ministry program, it feels like we need to be doctors.
Sure.
Doctor of what?
Yeah.
All right. We come up with it. So fans, go ahead and send it to us over the DougPagittRadio.com fan page.
We have to wear white smocks.
Hey, yeah, we could come up with our own doctor outfits.
Yeah.
We could offer doctorates for other people. We should start referring to one another as doctor. and when guests come on, we'll call them doctor. In fact, today we're going to be joined by Dr. Carla Barnhill. We're going to be joined by Dr. Shelley Pagitt. We're going to be joined by Dr. Rachel Held Evans. Have you ever noticed all the women that we have on this show?
Hey, what's up with her?
I don't know. It's like a pretty. I know we're doubling down on the Three Stooges here with the three of us and the three men voices. Yeah. But we do have a lot of women on. I find it's almost like we have a thing against guys that aren't us.
Well, Glenn can pull off a wicked falsetto if you want him to.
Oh.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, that actually scared me a little bit. Sort of. Didn't see it. I didn't hear that one coming. John and I, we were doing a little prep over at the prep studio before the program today, and we were having a conversation about homosexuality and Christianity and the complicated nature of that conversation for so many of us. This last week, I was with a number of Christians for whom their churches are quite comfortable allowing gay and homosexual people to be part of their communities, to be their clergy, to be all of it. And I will spend time next week with constituencies of Christianity that would have nothing to do with that at all. And if I tell them that I hung around with these people last week, they won't want to have me there next week, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of angst, there's a lot of separation, there's a lot of distinction around this. And John and I were having a conversation about that topic, and it caused me to think, we should do an entire 2-hour program, prepare for it, invite the right guests, get the right people in, and talk about how we should talk about homosexuality and Christianity here on Doug Pagitt Radio.
Yeah, I think I'll take that week off.
Well, you can take that week off. John, I thought we could put a little segment together where two, generally heterosexual men are talking about the importance of homosexuality, which at some point even, the two of us can't really advance the conversation as far as we should. Yeah. So we're going to do that one of these weeks. I'm thinking maybe September. We're going to put together a conversation, and we're going to try to demonstrate and try to come up with some new ways to think about and talk about this. And it got me thinking about a number of other issues that are important, that kind of strike at the heart of our assumptions about the world. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a number of issues in all of our lives for which, when we try to think about them, when we try to talk about them, it's really complicated.
It is.
And we don't have the tools to talk about it. And here's what I think is going on. Sometimes issues and circumstances arise that cause us to have to say, if I'm going to look at that issue, that means I have to look at other important issues, and I don't have time, energy, or the capability to talk about those other things. So in this particular case, it's very difficult for some people to talk about homosexuality because they don't know how to talk about sexuality. They don't know how to talk about the Bible. Right. They don't know how to think about cultural influences. And when we live in an age in which so many cultural things are changing, where there's so much transition happening, where there's so much new and fresh consideration and information, we are left with ourselves not knowing how to talk about it, and we freeze.
Yeah, it's like it's peeling an onion. It's a ball of yarn. It just keeps on.
Yeah, we don't know what to do with it next. And all of a sudden we get onions on our yarn, and then we're all confused. And that's what happens. So we're going to try to find ways to be more helpful with that, which is one of the things I'd like for this radio program to do, is to give us a new set of language to find some new considerations. So know that that's coming, and if you have some input on it, if you have some guests you'd like to have on, we would love to have it. And here after the break, we're going to be back with the doctor of the revolution, the Mommy Revolution, Carla Barnhill from themommyrevolution.com will be joining us here in a minute on Doug Pagitt Radio on AM 950, the voice of Minnesota, and DougPagittRadio.com.